All right, fun time's over. Time to get back to work. All right, today, something big is happening with gasoline. I'm going to show you. More proof that you ain't getting paid. And we're going to get some answers today. But first, let me talk about this. The return to office mandates likely to worsen Toronto traffic. You think? Why are they doing this? Is this to increase productivity? No, absolutely not. This is because these buildings are worth jack shit if people don't occupy them. The fewer people in that building, the less valuable the building is. And if your office building is empty, yeah, it's worth the land value minus the cost to destroy the building. This is going to reduce productivity. People are going to be stuck in traffic all the time. Or it's going to make renting worse in Toronto because these people, instead of living outside the city, are going to rent a place inside the city for the work week. Maybe some province-wide urban planning is necessary. You know, move some of these businesses and locations outside of the GTA so fewer people need to go to the GTA. Just a thought. All right, after days of speculation regarding his health, Donald Trump to make televised announcement at the White House at 2 p.m. this afternoon regarding something about the Department of Defense. I really don't care. I just want to see what he looks like. Yeah, I know. I'm a morbid ghoul, but I want to know. All right, one more before I get on to the gasoline. You need to make more money now to qualify for help with affordable housing, according to Habitat for Humanity. That's right, you ain't making enough to afford affordable housing. Habitat for Humanity in Windsor recently announced households making up to $135,000 could qualify for help. Not long ago, it was news that households in Toronto making over $100,000 a year could qualify for help from Habitat for Humanity. Now we're talking about Windsor, one of the most affordable cities in this province. And then there's these conservative folks who are always out there about the sunshine list and how much money these people in government are making. If you're making $100,000, you're barely getting by. Money ain't worth jack shit now. Oh, and by the way, if Donald Trump has his way, you'll be making even less money. Because in the grand old Republican tradition, he's going to strip away collective bargaining rights from approximately 1 million unionized federal workers. I'd like to remind everybody that it was President Ronald Reagan, Republican President Ronald Reagan, that started this process of stripping rights away from unions. He's also the guy that started sending work off to China. Yeah, the powerhouse economy that is China, that can be traced back to Ronald Reagan and his disdain of unions. Ironically enough, he got paid because he was a union boss. Screen Actors Guild. All right, big news in oil and gasoline. Oil prices climb amid Russia-Ukraine tensions. Await OPEC meeting. And Saudi Aramco and Iraq Somo halt crude sales to Indian refiner Nayara. Because of the whole sanctions thing, where India is not supposed to buy more Russian oil, etc., etc., etc. Now, we've been talking about high gas prices this weekend because, this has pushed up the price of oil and pushed up the price of gasoline because oil refineries in Russia got bombed. But oh boy, Labor Day weekend must have been shit. Gasoline fell off a cliff this morning. It opened at $1.96 US a gallon. No, that's not just because the weekend is over. This would indicate that it's a buyer's market when it comes to gasoline. Like, people with contracts for this weekend or physical supply this weekend, they just couldn't move it. People didn't buy the fuel on those contracts. People didn't settle on their contracts. Like, this means things went sideways badly this weekend. And as a consequence, it's pulling the price of oil down. Yeah, no, I checked on this. Gasoline was down first. Oil has followed. Yeah, yesterday I said that we may have more expensive gasoline for the month of September. Now, I don't think so. Let me show you the entire year because there's a trend here. Every time something happens to push up the price of gasoline, it crashes shortly after. Look, the year has been marked by these big drops that keep happening again and again and again. What is that? That means that people are buying these contracts, these futures contracts, which pushes up the price. And when the day comes to settle on those contracts, there's just no activity, not enough activity to support the price. And it crashes. Like, this says a lot about how slow the global economy is right now. Long weekend here and in the States, there's the problems in Russia and Ukraine. This should be much higher. But when the day came to settle up, no buyers. People aren't using up the gasoline.